instantly, everyone's sleeping at night. We got into a better rhythm. My brain fog went away. I wasn't such a grouch or frustrated or irritated and all those things. And the boys too, they were a lot more lively. Is just so incredible. And learning about it, it gives you so much insight and aha moments and permission slips and like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And learning these things, it's like a mother's intuition on steroids.
What happens when you are thriving in your career but quietly unraveling at home? Today's guest, Amy Wiebe, knows that experience intimately. In this episode, she shares a powerful bedtime tool to transform stressful nights into calm, connected routines so you can get the rest you need and feel like yourself again. Amy works with ambitious, high achieving mothers who feel stuck in the chaos of parenting, helping them reclaim their joy, restore their sleep, and reconnect not only with their children but with themselves. She's the founder of Unbound Motherhood and the author of OLEA, the Magical Sleep Fairy, a beautiful and practical storytelling tool that transforms bedtime battles into calm, cuddling routines. Welcome to Good is What Makes You Feel Well, Mama Terra's podcast. Each week, we will explore topics that impact our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health through inspiring transformation stories. Here, you will find practical guidance and actionable strategies to apply in your daily life. I'm your host, Ana Rezende, author, health coach, and speaker. I'm here to help you protect your energy, strengthen your well-being, and thrive through life's transitions. If you are a student, a parent, a teacher, or someone who cares about well-being, go to Amazon and check my book, Living Your Best Life in College. Now, let's dive in and discover what really makes you feel well.
Abraço uma pessoa amiga, corre na chuva, escala a montanha, contempla a vista, transcende, levita.
Hello, Amy.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome to Good is What Makes You Feel Well.
Wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. For us to start our conversation, I would like to ask you what, in this moment of your life, makes you feel well?
What makes me feel well? Oh, what makes me feel well is when I'm falling in alignment with my sacral energy and when I'm
Mm,
saying yes to my yeses and no to my nos and just following my gut intuition and just whatever I feel in that moment, just being true to it and going with it.
I love it. Love it. Yeah, that is how everybody should feel well, right? Because that alignment is so important for our energy and for
Absolutely.
everything else to flow in life, right?
hmm Absolutely. And I mean, it's just different seasons. So it's not one thing. It's just how I'm feeling in that moment. So yeah, that's what I
hmm
would say.
Yeah, tuning in with your body and your intuition and
Yes,
flowing with that.
absolutely. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And tell me how this concept of wellness or feeling well, how it has evolved throughout your life for you to discover that alignment is now what brings you wellness.
Man, a good question. I think it kind of started happening when I started having children. I have two boys, and I felt like before I had kids, I felt like I was in an alignment, but I was in my career and like, client meetings and evenings out and this and that. And it was just really draining me. And then putting the kids into it was just, it's just a different shift into it, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
then I had to really figure out, like, there was no escaping the clients because they're my children. So you have to like figure out what's going to work for you. And so that's when I really started tapping into to what's going to work with me on my everyday where like, you can't, like I said, run away from the clients and have like a night evening because your kids are there too. So it's you have to kind of figure that out.
So motherhood was kind of a turning point for you.
Motherhood was an absolute turning point for me. I had, yeah, absolutely. I found it a big, massive shift, a change, and a difficult one. I struggled a lot with it. I had two boys back to back. They're about 16 months apart, and now they're, 16 and 15, but it was those first like 8 years, 7 years were just like, what the heck did I sign up for? What? And this goes till they're 18. I'm going to like lose my mind. Right? And in all love, like totally love them. But
Oh,
it was
yes.
consistently consistent. And I was just like, I was drained, I was exhausted. And so, yeah, it was a massive turning point in my life. And that's literally why I'm here today.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I relate so much with all you said. I also have two kids, but they are further apart, so they are 3.5 years apart. But I always tell people when they ask, should I have a second one? I usually say, if you are absolutely certain that you want more than one kid, then you have the second, because the second is not a plus one. It looks like a plus five, right?
I know. I always say it's like a plus 10. It's like, it is so crazy. I remember one day I was at the pool and I had my baby and then like my other kid, like Max. And this lady, and I was literally in the thick of it. Like I think Jack was me, like my youngest son, he was probably like 3 months old and like Max. So it was like oh, it was so crazy. And this lady is sitting beside me, and we're on the side of the pool. And she's like, "So how are you finding having two kids at this age?" And I don't know what happened the night before, but I remember this and I said, "It's an absolute nightmare." I was like reaching and grasping for someone to help me. And then I looked over at her and I'm like, "Oh, like you're not pregnant, are you?" And she's like, yes. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know who this lady is. I still see her. I feel so bad for her that I was like, and I'm like, it's not that bad. I'm like, I'm just really tired. I'm really tired.
Yeah, so we are so sleep deprived and sometimes food deprived and sometimes support deprived and everything deprived because we
Yeah.
cannot work, we cannot do it's a lot to juggle. It is
Yeah.
just a lot. Yeah. When did you find your secret weapon to be well during this chaotic time? If you are enjoying this episode but don't yet understand the multidimensionality of health, I created a free ebook to help you. It's a simple yet insightful few-page book you can read in less than 10 minutes. The ebook link is in the show notes. Now, back to the episode.
Well, it kind of like, you're just kind of going through the motions and you don't really realize that no sleeping compounding and what the effect it has on you as a mother, uh, what effect it has on you on your motherhood experience, how you're showing up for your children, how you're showing up for your clients. And so it took a while. So it was until Max was, I think, about 5 and Jack was 4. And then I found something within like imagination and human design and pulled it all together and really changed the trajectory literally overnight with these two pieces, which is amazing.
Yeah, tell me more about human design. Heard a little bit, but not much.
Oh, okay. So, human design is, I always call it the mother's intuition on steroids. And what I felt when I was, a sleep deprived mother is that I felt that I didn't have any mother's intuition. I was just flailing, and I would what would work one night would not work the next night, and what would work for one child wouldn't work for the other child. And learning your child's human design and your own, it literally gives you the user manual that you've always wanted for your children. And
Hmm.
so you learn their energy makeup, and it's brought to you by like time and location of your birth. And so it's wild how exact it is and how the aha moments come in. When I started learning this about Max and Jack, and when I first learned about human design, I'm like, oh, this thing is a little bit nutty nut. But I had to like go down it because it was drawing me in. And once I found out that, my son Jack was a generator for energy type, and then Max, his brother, was a manifester, the two variations and how I could just micro tweak my mothering for each one of them just made such a calm flow, like reduced the friction, made things easier, and like literally took a weight off my shoulders. Yeah.
Wow. And then
Mhm.
you learned about yourself too, right? Your time too.
Yeah, I when I first started hearing this and I started listening about, oh, there's type and there's profile, and you're just like, what are all of these things? So I looked at my own human design first, and I just was like, whoa, this is really interesting. I said, I'm going to pull my kids and I'm going to figure out what's going on with them. And as soon as I pulled it, I was like, bang on. This is exactly what was going. For example, Jack is a generator. So he's got a lot of energy, a lot of energy, a lot of energy. Max is a manifester. So he's more like the authoritative one. He likes to, tell people what to do kind of thing. Which is great. He likes to be in control. He likes to initiate. So, learning these two things for Max at the end of the night, for example, for bedtime routines or whatever, he needs really quiet time and to just mellow out and chill out, where Jack needs to go make sure he's used up his energy, go jump on the trampoline, run around the house a few times, and then boom, he'll go to bed. Two completely different angles
Uh-huh.
both work so effectively that takes out so much of the nighttime bedtime resistance there.
Wow. So once you learned, then they started sleeping better, and so did you.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's that, and then like the sleep fairy thing too. But yeah, so for all of your viewers, I make human design reports for yourself, for your audience, and they can go and download this. It's like an 18-page report that I have that they can go and pull it on their own self. And it's fantastic. They can even pull one for their children and all that rest of it. Although I've written it for the woman. So it's
Okay, okay, for
exciting. Yeah.
mothers. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said there are different kinds of human design, and that is based on the time and location of your birth.
Yeah.
Something similar to astrology and birth charts.
It is similar to that. Absolutely. It has the I Ching in it. It's astrology. It used quantum physics. It's actually a really logical system. And it's so unique to every individual. There's so many aspects of human design. You can really go so deep. But when I'm working with mothers, I always use something that I call like a golden trifecta, which is the type, the profile, and then the authority, which is how somebody makes decisions. And I pull these things together, and it just gives a different outlook for a mother on
Mm-hmm.
herself and then also her children.
Mm-hmm. And when have you started working human design and all?
So if we back up a little bit, yeah, when they were The imagination piece. So I work with imagination and also human design. And the imagination piece was when they were 5 and 4, I was struggling with bedtime routines and keeping them in their bed at night, and I was going to lose my absolute mind. Like it was crazy. There is no way a child should come into the room in the middle of the night and say, "Mom, I just peed. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning." I don't care. Get back to bed. And it was this compound effect. Anyways, one night, Jack came into my room and he was came into the bed and like was cuddling up with me. And that's, it's so beautiful for one night, but this like I said, it's like the compound effect, right? So anyways, he ended up kicking me in the back, drove me like, and I was just like, that's it. I've had enough. I'm up and I go to my couch. So when I'm at my couch, I'm like, there's got to be a different way. Something's got to give. And then all of a sudden, I have no idea where it came from. But I was like, if there's a tooth fairy, then why isn't there a sleep fairy? And so I
Mm.
Googled it. I'm like, where's the sleep fairy? I'm looking for her everywhere, high and low, looking for her. No sleep fairy. So I'm like, I'm gonna make her up. So I totally made her up and I made her have her own set of rules, which were all my pain points. And and then I started rolling it out to the kids. And over a week, 2 week time frame, I'm like, oh yeah, we should call the sleep fairy and get you guys to get your sleep. Oh, I don't think the sleep fairy is gonna do this. Oh, and then they started asking me questions, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's works with Tinkerbell, and and then I got my friends involved in it, and I started really bring the imagination and the magic back into their minds. They even went to school, asked their buddies about it, came home and said, Mom, there's no sleep fairy. We've talked, we've figured it out at school that we're calling baloney on this. And I'm like, well, sleep fairy doesn't go to every single house. She only goes where the mom wants, that the
Mm.
one that calls. So not everybody has access to her because she's got rules. She's really strict. You got to follow her rules or she's not coming. Anyways, 5 nights in a row, they were supposed to follow these things. We've got a chart. They're like, monitoring what they're doing. And we're making, cookies for the sleep fairy and all this kind of stuff to get ready for her. And I put the kids to bed at night and they literally stay in bed when I say they don't get up in the middle of the night and they don't wake me up in the morning. Oh my gosh, I just about crapped my pants. It was so amazing. I'm like, I need to tell every single woman in the universe about this because she's like your imagination, Mary Poppins, that's going to come in and help you with your bedtime routine so that you don't have to lose your mind anymore. And it's her rules. So it gets you off the hook. And now you're having like memories with your children, like getting all ready for her. And I tell you, my kids love the sleep fairy. They were more upset about finding out that she wasn't real than Santa.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy. So then I ended up writing a book, a children's book. This,
It's
it's
so
so
pretty.
beautiful. It's
So
because
pretty.
I wanted it to really ignite the child's imagination. So it's like, it's just so pretty.
And
And
who illustrated it for you?
Her name was Shay May, and she is out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, I found it took me a long time to find somebody that did the incredible illustrations. And then I got it published. It's on Amazon. I've got a course that goes with it, all the things. But it was a game changer. The Sleep Fairy was a game
But
changer.
is that the name of the book, The Sleep Fairy?
It's called OLEA, the Magical Sleep Fairy. So
Okay.
OLEA at like yeah, OLEA, the Magical Sleep Fairy, because we had to name her.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
OLEA, yeah. So then I used that imagination piece, and like I said, we just called her the Sleep Fairy at that time. Aaliyah came later.
Uh-huh.
But this we just called her the Sleep Fairy, and we used her for years, years. Like in the summertime, we wouldn't use her because it was kind of more of a free for all. Get back to school. Oh, the Sleep Fairy's coming. Let's get prepared, do all the things, get ready for her. If they got sick, of course, they would come and sleep with me. Instantly, everyone's sleeping at night. We got into a better rhythm. My brain fog went away. I wasn't such a grouch or frustrated or irritated and all those things. And the boys too, they were a lot more lively because they weren't on, oh, it kind of gets to be like that pattern, right? Right. Waking up in the middle of the night to come into mom's room, like, yeah, and all those kind of things. So it helped immensely.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, because when we don't sleep, we don't have the same energy. Our bodies are not the same. Nothing is the same. And it just,
Yeah.
like you said, if it piles up and piles up, it's everybody suffer because we don't have the same mood, we don't have the same patience, we don't have the same energy.
Oh, and you're just a bag of bolts. Like you're just almost like dead weight. Like you're just like, your spark goes, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're like the irritation of just even noise just makes you crazy or made me
Absolutely.
crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
this was a beautiful way that I kind of came up with, and I just fell in love with it and just went all in on it. Then later on down the road, then I found out about more about human design. And that was like another added piece. And so I've been working with moms for about 5 years with all of this combined and helping moms, first of all, get their kids back to sleep, which happens literally instantly. And then they just fall in love so much with human design because it's just so incredible that they want to learn more. And so we go through all of the things together, which
And
it's
that,
just,
yeah,
yeah, it's
that
just
is such
cool.
a wonderful offer and
It's so
so
fun.
needed. Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, it makes an impact on people. Like I have this one client and her son pees the bed at night and he's like 12 and he
Hmm.
still pees the bed. Or was he 9? I forget, sorry, I forget the age. But anyways, he was still, maybe he's 9 and he was still peeing the bed. And so they brought Sleep Fairy into their life. And instead of like I used my pain points and I said, so he was old enough to change his bedding, but it was like a whole like get up in the middle of the night, get mom to change all the beds. So I said to my client, I said, why don't we get his bed all set up so that he can, once he has an accident, if he is a big boy and can take off that soiled sheet, put it in like a bin over here, he's got all the fresh stuff there. Now he's not getting mom up in the middle of the night and like this, and then there's like a reward system for that as well. And it worked for their family too. Like it's just you can change it and adjust it to whatever is kind of going on in your life, in your family. And that's like the fun part, right? Because it's always a little bit different.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And do you work with your clients online?
Yes, I work with my clients online. We do one-on-one, and I'm bringing in some more group programming right now, which is fantastic. And your people here, if they go to like unboundmotherhood.com, they can pull that full report. And then
Hmm.
I've also created a private podcast that they can listen to that'll walk them through the chart and give them like pointers on how to read it and like adapt it for their bedtime routines if your audience is having trouble with bedtime routines or know of anybody about that. And then there's a little spot in there that they can book a call with me and go and have a little conversation. Typically, that's a sleep audit and it costs a little bit of money, like $100. But if you're coming from your podcast, then it's just do podcast VIP and then it'll be free for you, for your,
Mm.
for your listeners there.
Oh, thank you. That is
You're
so
welcome.
generous. Yeah,
It's
that is
so
awesome.
good. Good.
Yeah. My kids are grown, but I do have some friends and listeners that probably are gonna need this. So it's gonna be
Oh
interesting.
man. Yeah. I mean,
And my
yeah.
experience was actually my both my kids, they were super easy to do all the transitions. They were really fast and easy to pot train. They didn't have like a lot
Nice.
of accidents of wetting the bed, transition from breast to
Uh,
bottle or
yeah.
out of pacifier, none of that. And my son, once I him in a bed, I take the crib away and put him in the bed, he was just fine. My daughter, though, she would walk to my bed every night until she was 10. Almost every night. We had some skips, but almost every night she would woke up and walk to my bed. And then she turned 10 and all of a sudden she stopped.
It just stopped.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens, right? And you're lucky that had one that didn't do it. And then, but if you have, one, two, three, whatever, doing it at the same time, you're like, oh my gosh, this is madness. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
And sometimes you love it and it's great. But I mean, just, oh,
Yeah, when you cannot sleep, it becomes a problem.
yeah.
I would always fall asleep with her, and it was not a big deal for me. But I know some people just cannot sleep with a child in the bed, and then they kick and they stretch and they turn, and then it's
You
not
get kicked in
easy.
the back, punched in the face, all the things and everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me how human design just appeared in your life.
Oh, yeah. So I was in a group of women, and I'm very into business, and I sold real estate for 13 years, and I always had to add my own businesses. And I was in this group, and it was like, business women or whatever, and they started talking about like the different types. And the type is more like your aura and how people will see you in the world. So there's
Mm.
5 types. There's a generator, a manifester, projector, reflector, and manifesting generator. And each of
Mm.
them have their own things, their own quirks, their own, and it's just learning that about yourself. So, for example, I'm a manifesting generator, which means that I'm a little bit of manifester, a little bit of generator, but so I have a lot of energy, but I also like to, initiate and do this kind of thing. Well, my energy wants to be in a bunch of different buckets. So I might
Mm.
want to like do a little project of Sleep Fairy over here. And then maybe I want to like, sell real estate over here. Maybe over here I'm like writing a different book or taking a cooking class or something. And I'm good with having all of these multitasking things. That's just something that in the past people would be like, geez, Amy, you're always like doing something different. You're doing this, that. Like you're kind of almost like a flake or something, like doing this and doing that. But that's my design. That's just how I
Mm.
am. And I love trying different new things. And so once it kind of gave me that permission slip, like, oh yeah, like I like trying new things. And once I'm done learning them, I like pivot and I move on and I go and do a different thing, right? Where generators are really here for mastery, and they have a lot of energy, but they want to go and go and go and go, and so they will build on something like a little, if they're a little chef in with their mom during their growing up, maybe they'll become like a Michelin star chef because or own a bakery. They'll continue growing on one of their love's passions. So you
Mhm.
can see these big things that are, within the human design, and reading these maps is just so incredible, and learning about it. It gives you so much insight and aha moments and permission slips and like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And I'm just totally obsessed with it.
That makes sense. So how have this like knowing your type and how it all has helped you be a better person or feel better?
It's given me 2 things. It's given me alignment, or it's
Mm-hmm.
helped me know when I am in alignment. And it also helps for a mom, you can see the strength and weaknesses of your child's design or yourself. So when you know the strengths of your child, you can lean in as your parenting directive and let them know, like to grow that muscle that's naturally in them. So for Jack, he's
Mm.
a generator. He like really lives off of his sacral energy. Well, sacral energy needs yes, no question, like follow yes, no, questions and stuff like that. So that's how I will communicate with him is, do you want this book? No. Do you want this book? Yes. Do you want this for dinner? Yes. Do you want this for dinner? No. Where Max, on the other hand, and I'll be like, okay, what's your plan for dinner tonight, honey? Are you gonna have, or sorry, bedtime tonight? Are you gonna have a bath or are you gonna have a shower? And then, let him choose what he wants to do. It's not more of a yes, no. It's like, I'm gonna make these decisions. So it
Mm,
frees up ease and line, and then it also teaches them and grows their strengths. Like, Max and Jack. Oh, there's so much to talk about. We could be here forever.
I love it.
But, these are just kind of like some little examples. And, Max and Jack there's also profiles and then authority, how you make your decisions. So Max, let's just go with Max for a second. He has an emotional authority, for instance.
Mm, mm,
So, which is really interesting because, and I also have an emotional authority. But what you realize when you can read this is I have to take time like making big decisions. I need to go through my waves. You're going to have some waves and you're going to have to really think about it. So, if I want, and just for your big purchases or stuff like that. So, if,
mm-hmm.
someone says, "Okay, well, let's go to Maui tomorrow, Amy." And I'll be like, "Yes, let's go to Maui," and I can't say yes right away. I really need to think
Mm-hmm.
about it and let it set in. Where Jack is sacral, yes, no. If he says yes, that's what he's got to do because he's just sacral. So there's so many different angles to learn, but when you're learning these things, it's like a mother's intuition on steroids. And it also just helps me align with myself. Like I am a manifesting generator, so I need to be satisfied. And if I am not satisfied, then I know that I'm out of alignment, whatever that might look like. So it's just the deeper you go. And so when I'm teaching this to other moms, I'm not, yes, I'm helping them with reading their charts, but I'm also giving them tools where they can go and do research and deeper dives on them for themselves or their kids because that's how it gets you. You're just so in love with human design and you're just like, oh, I want to learn this and I want to learn that and I want to learn this. So you just can go as deep as you like.
Okay, so does it say something about the way you learn and the way you think too? There are all those different aspects of life that it touches, like
It is,
learning,
yeah,
thinking.
yeah, that'll be more in there are parts of that, not so much from type profile and authority, but for the way that you learn, if you're more of an observer or if you need to like be in there, like you can definitely see that in there as well. Depends on, it'll show you how you like to consume knowledge, consume food.
Mm.
Like if you're, more of a grazer or if need to have scheduled routine. It shows you what your strengths are that you're always going to have, the constant energy that you're always going to have. And then it also shows you the parts where you're going to get the most wisdom and be able to teach people and help people with these sorts of things. It's
I see.
fascinating.
I see. I'm
Fun.
dying to check. So do you
So
have,
you should go on my website and go and pull your own chart and
yeah, I
have a
will
look because
absolutely do that.
it'll go through your life's work. It's going to go through your superpowers. It's going to go through your type, your profile. It's an 18-page report on you.
Uh-huh. But then do you have a questionnaire?
No, no
No.
question. It goes on your
Just your time of birth and
time
location,
of birth,
and that's
birth
it.
and that's it. And like,
Wow.
yeah, the location, the date, and the time. And if you don't have the time, you can call the hospital where you were at, and they'll give you the time that you were born at. You can also ask a parent or, and then also
Does
I
it
did
have to be precise?
it should be precise, but there I did one. I was meeting with a lady yesterday and she didn't have a precise one. And I said, okay, well, let me just have a look here. So she said it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I did like a half an hour. 3:30 in the afternoon and then 4:30. And it was the same. Like it was good and it was easy for me to discover that.
Yeah, because for me, it's a big mystery. My
Oh.
mom doesn't remember, and my dad was not there. So I have been trying to,
You don't
yeah.
know. I know, and I don't have anyone to
I know it's in the
recommend.
morning because it was a C-section and it was planned.
Oh,
So it was in the morning, but that's, yeah. My mom
well,
said,
you know
well,
what?
probably 9 a.m. Okay. I don't
But
know.
she doesn't really quite know. Well, you know what? On later on, like email me and give me your time and like a rough time, and then let me have a look for you and see if it would change just like a little bit here and there. And then I'll
Yeah,
have
but I'll do for my kids. And that would
yeah.
be awesome to know.
Oh my gosh, you will just be so happy. But let me like do a little bit of research for you too, because that's fun. And then I think you can also, there's astrologer or forget the name of them, but they can figure out what I forget. I don't know how they do it, but I forget the name of it, but they can find out your birth date as well. And I can get you a name. I just don't have one in my back pocket, but I should go get one. And then you can
Yeah.
ask them and it's all like astrology stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah, awesome. So you said your main clients are moms, and then you work with them with the imagination part and using your book, and then human design, you integrate it afterwards. And are you still doing your real estate?
No, actually, when the boys were little, I right around that time, I had to give it up. I something had to give, and yeah, I had no family living out here with me, and so it was just me, and I was tapped out, so I had to take some time off from that career. And then I just never went back. It was just really too chaotic. I loved that career though. It was absolutely amazing. But no, I just,
Awesome. And how does dads get involved in the process?
of human design.
No, at the imagination, bedtime routine, and all that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anyone can really do it, whether it's like a grandmother, grandpa, mom, dad, whoever. It's just the concept, right? It's like the tooth fairy, instead of the tooth fairy, it's for sleep. And it's like, holy crow, none of us just figure this out. We need like help in the home to get our children to sleep. Because when you get home from work in the middle of the night, you're just like, oh my gosh, like I just need peace and quiet, not like chaos. It's like the Hunger Games at night, more this, more this, more this, bounce, bounce, bounce. You're just like, I can't handle it. And so, yeah, you can use it from anyone. When I wrote the book for the Sleep Fairy, it was a mom and her two boys because I was a single mom. And so I didn't have a dad in there, but of
Uh-huh.
course, like dads and grandparents and everyone loves it. People love it for what do you do? Like a baby shower. They love giving the book for a baby shower gift because it's unique and different and like whatever. But yeah, usually how people find me is they go to, I do podcasts or like referrals and that sort of thing. They go to my website. We always typically people want to get their kids to sleep instantly. They are businesswomen, they are done with this nightmare portion of their night. So we just kind of wrap that up pretty quickly, like within a month, your kid will be sleeping probably sooner. And then we just go into the human design piece, which is just so fun, enlightening, like ticks off all the boxes. You're just, and it really enhances your motherhood experience. Because
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I was not enjoying my motherhood experience. I was having a really hard time with
Oh
it. I
yeah,
just,
yeah. When we don't
and
sleep,
making
we
it,
cannot enjoy anything.
well, and it broke my heart, like I'm just like, I must not have the mom gene. This is awful. I hate every minute of this. No one else is talking about this. You go to the mom groups or whatever, and everyone's talking about how wonderful their baby is and this and that. And I'm just like, I must be doing everything wrong. And is everyone sniffing glue? Like, this is not a good time. Like, what are you guys talking about? Right. So I really wanted to share it with everybody because I'm on a mission for every woman to love the motherhood experience because now I love the motherhood experience. And it was just me getting in alignment for myself and for getting my kids in alignment for their self. And using imagination and human design is the most authentic, kick-ass way to do it. Like it's just awesome. And it works.
Yeah, I love it. Do your kids talk about it now? They are teenagers?
The sleep fairy, yep, they love it. They can't believe that I do this for a job now. They think that it's just so fun. Like I said, they love the sleep fairy. I live in a resort and we have people that come in here or whatever. And like a lot of the other full-time people that live here, they have grandchildren and stuff like that. And a lot of the owners have grabbed my book and this and that. And so we meet people down in the hot tub and Jack is 15 now. He will meet other kids in the hot tub, and then the moms and I are talking. We're talking about the sleep fairy. They're trying to get the kid into the sleep fairy, and Jack's like, "The sleep fairy is real. Oh my gosh, she's so awesome. She brings like little Legos at night because it has to be a quiet gift underneath the pillow, right? Can't be a bouncing ball for 6 a.m. when they wake up. So you have to have these little things, and like they're into it.
Uh-huh.
It's a lifelong memory. A lifelong memory.
So cool. So
It's
cool.
good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So your book is available on Amazon or you just sell it with your
It
program?
is, it is left on, it is on Amazon. Yep. And it's OLEA, the Magical Sleep Fairy. But the easiest way to find me is go to unboundmotherhood.com, print out your 18-page. It'll be 18-page, give or take, depending on how many superpowers you have.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that way you can email me, ask me any question, whatever you need. It's good.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I will have everything in the show notes, your website, and the link for the book.
It's amazing. Thank you so much for having
Yeah,
me.
your work, and I think it's really so important for moms to get this help.
Oh, thank you so much, Anna.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you follow the show. You can also share it with your friends, rate it, and write a review. Rates and reviews help the show go to the top ranks so more people can benefit from its message. See you in the next episode. Until then, remember, good is what makes you feel well.
Escala